Nwakaego knew she had to act quickly. She begged the fishermen to release the sea spirit, but they ignored her, too focused on their own selfish desires. "We will use the spirit for our wishes, and no one will stop us," they declared. Nwakaego's heart raced as she tried to think of a way to save her friend. Suddenly, an idea came to her. She knew the fishermen were greedy, but she also knew they weren't very smart. She decided to use their greed against them. Pretending to agree with the fishermen, Nwakaego said, "You are right. The sea spirit can give you all the riches you want, but it only grants riches to those who have pure hearts. If you try to force it now, your wishes will turn into curses." The fishermen paused, unsure if they should believe her. "What do you mean?" one of them asked, frowning. Nwakaego explained, "The spirit told me that if anyone tries to steal its magic, it will turn their wishes into disasters. You don't want that to happen to you, do you?" The fishermen looked at each other nervously. They hadn't thought about curses or bad luck. What if Nwakaego was right? And what if their greed brought them nothing but misfortune? One of the men hesitated. "Maybe we should let it go," he said quietly. But the other, still driven by greed, wasn't convinced. "No, she's just trying to trick us. We can have the spirit give us what we want." Nwakaego saw the doubt in their eyes and knew that she had to keep pushing. "I'm telling the truth," she said firmly. "If you let the spirit go, it will reward you with something even better than wishes." The fishermen argued with each other, unsure of what to do. One wanted to keep the spirit and force it to grant them wishes, but the other was starting to believe Nwakaego's warning. After a long debate, they finally agreed to release the sea spirit on one condition. "We will let it go, but only if you promise we won't be cursed," one of the men said. Nwakaego nodded quickly. "I promise. Just let the spirit go and everything will be fine." Reluctantly, the fishermen cut the net, freeing the spirit once again. As soon as the sea spirit was freed, it rose into the air, glowing with a bright magical light. "Thank you, Nwakaego," the spirit said. Its voice was full of gratitude. "You have saved me once again. Your kindness and cleverness have not gone unnoticed." The fishermen, now trembling with fear, backed away from the glowing spirit. The sea spirit turned to the fishermen, who were trembling with fear. "I am a spirit of the ocean, and I do not bring curses upon those who have a change of heart," the spirit said calmly. The fishermen let out a sign of relief. They were grateful that they hadn't been cursed. Then the spirit faced Nwakaego. "You, Nwakaego, have shown great courage and wisdom. You did not use your wish selfishly, and you saved me twice. As a reward, I will give you a gift, something far greater than any wish." The spirit reached out its shimmering hands, and from the sea, a beautiful shell floated towards Nwakaego. "This shell will allow you to call upon me whenever you need help," the spirit said. "You have proven to be a true friend of the ocean." Nwakaego thanked the sea spirit, and with a final wave, the spirit dove back into the sea, disappearing beneath the waves. The fishermen, feeling ashamed of their greed, quickly ran away, not wanting anyone in the village to know what they have done. But the next day, rumors began to spread. The fishermen couldn't keep the secret for long. Soon, The entire village was buzzing with tales of a magical sea spirit that could grant wishes. People started coming to Nwakaego asking her how they could meet the spirit. Some villagers were kind, but others had greedy intentions, just like the fishermen. One day, a wealthy merchant from a nearby town heard about the sea spirit. Unlike the villagers, he didn't come to Nwakaego with kind words or questions. He demanded to know where the spirit was. "I can make you rich beyond your wildest dream," he said. "Tell me where to find the spirit, and I will give you anything you want." But Nwakaego shook her head. "I don't want riches," she said. "The sea spirit is my friend, and I won't betray it." The merchant was furious. He stormed off, but Nwakaego knew this wasn't the last he would see of him. She felt a deep unease in her heart, worried that the merchant would stop at nothing to capture the spirit. Nwakaego ran to the shore, clutching the shell tightly in her hand. She called out to the sea spirit. "Spirit, spirit, the merchant is here, and he has brought men with him. They are going to try to capture you." The sea spirit appeared once again. "Do not worry, Nwakaego," it said. "I will protect myself, and I will help you protect the village." The spirit's confidence reassured Nwakaego, but she still felt the weight of responsibility. She couldn't let the merchant harm the spirit or bring chaos to the village. The merchant and his men arrived at the shore. They were ready to search for the sea spirit. They carried nets and ropes, prepared to trap the magical creature. Nwakaego stood in their way, her heart pounding in her chest. "You won't find the spirit here," she said. "It's gone." As the men approached the water, the sea suddenly began to conge. Waves rose higher and higher, crashing against the shore with incredible force. The merchant and his men stumbled back, their eyes wide with fear. "What is happening?" one of the men shouted, struggling to keep his balance. The sea spirit's voice echoed through the air. "You have come with greed in your heart, seeking to take what is not yours. The ocean will not allow it." The waves grew even larger, forcing the merchant and his men to retreat. They dropped their nets and ropes, too frightened to continue their search. The merchant finally realized that he was no match for the power of the sea. He turned to Nwakaego. His face was pale with fear. "Please, tell the spirit I meant no harm," he begged. "I only wanted to make a wish." Nwakaego shook her head. "It's too late," she said. "You let your greed take over, and now the spirit has spoken. Leave the village and never come back." The merchant, humiliated and defeated, gathered his men and left the village without another word. Nwakaego watched them go, feeling a sense of relief. As time passed, Nwakaego grew older and wiser. She had the shell the sea spirit had given her, and the promise of one wish remained. But Nwakaego never felt the need to use it. She understood that real happiness and contentment came from within, not from magical wishes. One day, as she sat by the shore, watching the waves rolling, she held the shell in her hand. She thought about her life, her family, her village, and how much has changed since she first met the sea spirit. Everything was peaceful now, and her heart was full. Nwakaego took a deep breath and called out to the sea spirit. The spirit appeared, its shimmering form glowing brightly in the setting sun. "Hello, Nwakaego," it said, smiling warmly. "Have you finally decided what your heart truly wishes for?" Nwakaego nodded. "Yes, I have," she said. "I wish for my village to always be protected. I want it to be safe from harm, whether it comes from the sea or the land. I want everyone here to live in peace and never have to worry about danger again. The sea spirit's eyes sparkled with admiration. Your wish is kind and selfless, Nwakaego. I will grant it with all my power. With that, the sea spirit raised his hand and a gentle wave washed over the shore, carrying with it a sense of calm and protection. From this day forward, your village will be watched over by the ocean and the spirit of the sea. No harm will come to it, and the waters will always provide for your people. Nwakaego smiled, feeling a deep sense of peace. She thanked the sea spirit once more, and with a final wave, the spirit disappeared into the ocean, its promise fulfilled. As Nwakaego stood on the shore, watching the sun deep below the horizon, she knew that she had made the right wish. Her village would always be safe, and the bond she had with the sea spirit would last forever. Though she had used her wish, Nwakaego knew that the true magic lay not in the spirit's power, but in the kindness, courage, and wisdom she had found within